Shepard, with those Krogan cannons operational, Cerberus has actually given us the advantage in that system. The enemy's pulling back, but we think they'll try to seize the facility again.
Seems likely.
I'm sending an Alliance team to keep it secure. They've got a foothold in a strong defensive position, thanks to you.
Glad to hear it.
Good work,
Nice.
Commander. Hack it out.
Alright, so we get a bunch of monies. Mission accomplished. And if we take a look at our war terminal here, we'll see we now have Shadowbroker Wet Squad, which is the thing that we got from that planet scanning in that same general area, and then Krogan is now, I don't think we had any before, so this is now up to 50. So the Krogan clans have agreed to throw their considerable might against the Reapers. Yeah, we're gonna need it. Their shock troops are aggressive, relentless, and recklessly brave. And so we got the Krogan 1st Division. Krogan 1st Division is a conglomeration of infantry and vehicles hastily organized into a single coalition force. Chain of command is divided by clan, with representatives from each serving as officers. Despite ancient differences, fighting the Reapers together is building a spirit of camaraderie among the division's warriors. Krogan from different clans are starting to swap equipment, stories, and even occasional barrel of Rincall, which is Krogan alcohol. Did we read up on the Wet Squad, which was what, under Alien? As the new Shadowbroker, Liara Tassoni has the loyalty of her predecessor's Assassination Squad, a small but lethal team of soldiers called on for the rare occasion when information isn't enough to silence a target. Their methods vary with each mission. From subtle poisonings to bombing entire buildings, we may have seen that in Mass Effect 2. The Wet Squad is dedicated to whatever range of destruction the new broker requires. Dr. Tassoni has put them to work against the Reapers and Cerberus. Good stuff. I don't think Victus, or really any of our teammates, are going to have much new stuffs to speak to us about after that mission. Don't think.
You hear we had to evac another colony? We're losing a lot. Don't hear about the Reapers losing much.
Well, Reapers don't have colonies. Neither does Cerberus. If they did, we could drop an asteroid on them.
I guess. Alright, any updates from Trainer?
Look at that galaxy map. Do you know how many strategy games are built from that interface?
You play strategy games?
A few. Most are too flashy, though. I prefer chess. I have a set made from rose quartz and hematite back home. I like the feel of something solid in my hands.
Well, now that I know your weakness, we may have to try a game.
It'd be more fun than playing Edie. Edie doesn't sweat.
You sweat playing chess?
Depends on how much fun we're having.
Okay, that's only moderately creepy. Let's check out our terminal here. We got a thank you message from Hackett. So, forwarded from Kaylee Sanders, who of course was the person that we met at the Grissom Academy. Hi, Commander. I didn't have time to thank you properly after you got us out of the Academy, and Admiral Hackett agreed to send this your way. While my students are out on duty, I'm doing what I can to help with the Crucible. It's an amazing project, more advanced than anything I've seen since before. Some of my more tech-minded kids are staying back to help out too, and watching them work. It's the future, Commander. This project will inform human progress for generations. And they'll have you to thank for it. All my best, Kaylee Sanders. Good stuffs. Then if we're just looking at our credit count here, we are notably above 1,500, and that does mean we should now be able to afford the N7 Typhoon, which is the big weapon that we've been trying to save up for. As we've said previously for some of our squad mates, I know I said we might not have much of anything to discuss with squad mates. There might be a tiny bit if we go down into, where would we find, maybe crew deck or engineering? Let's take a look. Let's just see. Hello? Anything new, friends? Don't think with these two. Don't think so. Or even with Garrus.
Say that again?
The population of the colony world child of Tyvor has been killed.
Oh.
I don't understand. The Reapers have been taking people alive.
It was self-inflicted. When Reaper forces invaded, Tyvor's colonists detonated nuclear weapons inside their cities.
Oh.
Goddess.
Their deaths would have been instantaneous, Doctor.
Thank you, Glyph. That'll be all.
Okay. That might be the first time we've seen Liara sitting over in this seat. Quick check here at our upgrades. Nothing new for us to choose. Anything new here? Yes, actually there is. An email from Kaylee Sanders, again, the person who we met, who was sort of leading the show at Grissom Academy. Her and, obviously, Jack. David, that being David Anderson, as in Admiral Anderson. You won't get this for a while, unless you find an extranet connection working on Earth. I've made it out to this weapon we're building. The device isn't even halfway complete, and it's the most breathtakingly complicated piece of technology I've ever seen. I wish you could see this thing we're creating. Gives me hope. Take care, for my sake. We heard a little bit about those two having a bit of a history with one another. And then a call from Kaylee Sanders to Jack. Jack. Hey, Sanders. Checking on the kids? Sanders. How are they, Jack? They'll do good. This gonna be long? I kinda got crap to do. I wanted to tell you, I persuaded some Alliance friends to part with that biotic amp you and the children were testing at Grissom. You can pick it up on the Citadel. Darn. One of the L3X1s? You know how much stuff I could tear up with one of those installed? I had an idea. Look after yourself. Yeah. And hey. Thanks. Okay, so Sanders setting Jack up with some goods? Some more powerful biotic amps, it seems? Then Prothean Notes 2186, entry number 3. What if Javik says if what Javik says is true, his people were imperialists who left the rest of the galaxy quaking in terror, and I think he would sacrifice all of us without a thought if it could bring them all back again. I reviewed my old notes today. They're so childish. Did we romanticize the Protheans because we were dazzled by the technology they left behind? Are these really the people I dedicated my life to studying? Liara with a bit of an identity crisis here, because remember, of course, before she became the Shadowbroker, that was basically her life goal, was trying to figure out as much as possible about the Protheans, and then suddenly we have a Prothean on our team, and let's just say Javik isn't exactly what people were expecting, certainly not Liara. Maybe Liara has something else to say to us here?
Busy?
I have time if you'd like to talk. In fact, I could use the distraction.
Oh?
What's on your mind?
How long it took the Reapers to eradicate the Protheans, and how long they'll need for us. It took them centuries to conquer the Protheans. We're not quite so widespread, but it would still take at least 100 years.
It would still take that long.
It's selfish.
Hand gestures.
I keep
Amazing.
thinking that if we fail, I'm only 109, Shepard. I could live to see the entire cycle come to an end.
It's a little sarcastic. There's some ill intent, perhaps, with this phrasing, but we'll see. Of course, remember that Asari can live sometimes as long as up to 1,000 years or more. So, yeah, 109 is, at least by Asari standards, quite young.
Only 109, huh?
I know. It must seem strange to complain about a 1,000-year lifespan. I used to think it was sad that most aliens live such short lives. Maybe it's not such a privilege to outlive so many. To witness so much death.
Yeah, I mean, there is certainly still a lot of war left.
Don't drive yourself crazy about this, Liara. We're still in the fight.
Only because you're still driving it forward. We finally have other leaders on our side, but none will take us as far as you can. Sometimes I wonder how you do it.
We've got people. We've got friends.
I think of the people I care about. That helps keep me going.
I'm glad I'm among them. I hope.
Of course you are.
I feel better already. Thank you for coming by, Shepard. Why don't we talk later?
Okay. And after doing that, we unlocked Warp as a bonus power. Now, of course, we have warp as an adept, but for a non-biotic character, having access to warp, which is a pretty versatile power because it is a universal detonator, can blow up any type of explosion, any type of combo. It's a nice tool to have in your toolbox. That we just checked this. There's definitely nothing there. But yeah.
Greetings, Commander.
Glyph, we're leaving. We're not arriving, we're leaving, is the thing. I suppose maybe it's worth taking a check elsewhere to see if other people happen to have important conversations to have with us, but not entirely sure that's going to be the case, because that wasn't a very big mission that we just did. It was a relatively minor one.
Not right now.
Alright, fair enough, Garrus. We'll leave into your calibrations. But what I think, more than anything, I would like to do is check down here. I'm not sure if we spoke to Edie after the previous mission. What with her being at the bridge, it's she's so far away from other squad mates, we might at times forget that that's where she is. Oh, actually. I just don't want it to be on the other floor.
Repair Edie's mobile frame after that last mission.
She just needed an extra pair of hands. I am an engineer, remember?
Were oils and lubricants involved? Was there any moaning?
In your dreams, Kenneth.
Kenneth.
If only my imagination was that good.
Kenneth. Get your mind out of the gutter, man. So yeah, what you'll notice here is that Engineer Adams is not there at the moment. He's not in his usual spot. And I think we saw recently that he was actually...
Why are you so interested in my people, Asari?
Hold on.
Protheans are always an enigma, a mystery to solve. I wanted to know what happened to your civilization. Why did such an enlightened race disappear?
Enlightened?
Well, it seemed that way.
And now that I am here,
I wonder what it's like waking up 50,000 years later to a new galaxy.
I believe this cycle cares too much about what other species think. Krogan, Turian, Solarian, all were primitives in my time. What good does their help do now?
We can't win this war on our own.
Then demand their help. Do not indulge their selfish requests. What will saving one Krogan matter?
If only it were that simple.
If they get in your way, destroy them.
Excuse me?
I apologize. The previous occupant of this room left traces of himself. I have absorbed some of them.
Yes, Grunt. He was a strong one. Maybe it's best if I let you recover.
That would be best.
Interesting little note there. Absorbing the essence of the person who previously occupied this room. I mean, it's kind of freaky. And it was Grunt, of course, who was here previously. So, he was pretty aggressive, I suppose. I mean, we can see if Javik has anything else to chat about, though.
It seems you believed Protheans built the mass relays. The Reapers are cunning in their deception, allowing life to flourish, century upon century, letting us believe ourselves the masters of the cosmos. Then the truth becomes known. There are monsters in the dark spaces, and we are their prey.
Yeah, I'm afraid Javik is right about that, at least to a certain extent.
Your Liara Asari asks many questions. You'd think she'd never seen a Prothean before.
She hasn't.
Commander.
Alright. Cool, cool. Then, I can't remember we have anyone over on this side at the moment. Oh,
City of
Diana.
4 million blasted from orbit. Adelaide, Australia is no more. New footage from Earth reveals the Reapers' plans to attack large industrial centers. Which cities are next? Find out inside the battle space. Cerberus stealthily strikes star system shield. No, glad I read that one out loud.
Okay.
Do we need to talk, Commander?
No, you're good.
Not right now, Allers.
Let me know when we do.
Okay. Cool stuff. Yeah, so I think we might actually want to head back up to the crew quarters, because I forgot about a certain spot, the crew deck. certain spot that we probably want to check out. That being the actual crew room.
It was crazy of me to ask you to join the Normandy back then.
But I let you down. I let Shepard down. I let everyone listed on that memorial wall down. You had the courage to support Shepard. Joker did. Garrus and Tally did.
But Ashley didn't. Liara didn't. Were they cowards? I think not. Greg, you're one of the bravest and most loyal men I know. You were meant to be here, right now. We have a war to win. So clear your head and focus.
Okay, you win. It will not be mentioned again.
Discussion about Engineer Adams, of course, was one of our crew members in Mass Effect 1, then did not join us in Mass Effect 2 when we were working for, kind of, sort of, Cerberus. So, questioning himself for not sticking with Shepard.
Hello, Commander.
Hello.
Hello, Commander.
Hello again.
Commander.
Alright, just a little conversation between those two, I suppose, then? Maybe not much more than that, though. Alright. I suppose, in that case, we can... Why don't we? It seems as though many of our squad mates still have some other things to say, so we should check in on them.
Esteban, for your shuttle being so stealthy and all, you sure do get shot at a lot.
Well, the UT-47A stealth systems only internalize heat and high-band emissions. So while few sensors can pick us up, our cover is blown as soon as someone looks up.
Time for an upgrade.
Most scanners and tracking systems don't operate in mid-range frequencies. Sure, maybe we've been shot at, but we haven't been shot down.
Yet. Lucky for us, you're almost as good a pilot as you think you are.
Well, yeah. There's that, too.
Where is he? Where is Cortez? I hear him. I don't see him. Is he invisible? Cortez, are you invisible? If you are invisible, blink twice. Ah, there he is. There he is.
Everything okay with the shuttle?
Just double-checking the inertia dampener coils.
Of course,
right. In these UT-47s. But don't worry. This bird's been rock solid.
Don't work too hard.
I appreciate your dedication, but I don't want to see you burn out.
I know my limits. I wouldn't take a chance with your life.
So before this war, you must have done something to relax.
Sure. I remember back when the Hawking was based out of Arcturus and I was just a fighter jock. There was this observation deck overlooking the main flight paths. You could watch every ship taxi in and out. When I was alone, I'd turn off the auditory emulators and just watch them drift by in silence.
You know, the reviews like that on the Citadel. Next time we're there, you should take some shore leave. Clear your head.
I don't know. Maybe.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we have an option here. A charm option using our, well, our Super Paragon powers to perhaps convince Cortez to do so. And Cortez... I'm trying to think of a way to say this. I'm venturing into dangerous potential spoiler territory. Let's just say, you know, some things... There are various outcomes that are various things that can happen. Depending on how you choose to chat and catch up with Cortez. So, don't remember exactly when and where the most important of those things are, but I'm going to take a bit of a chance here and say we should go for the charm option.
Take some time off on the Citadel, Steve. As a favor to me.
I find it very hard to say no to you, Shepard.
As it should be.
Alright, now that was a little creepy, but get a little bit of Paragon points, a little bit of reputation out of that. And I suppose while we're down here, might as well check in with James as well.
Parts of Tachanka reminded me of the desert back home. The lizards and worms are bigger, but, you know, the sand and everything.
I mean, we were only there ever so briefly. Technically, the place we were in really didn't have sand, but sure, I suppose we were technically on Tachanka.
That Jack is a mean SOB, but kind of hot. If you like that sort of thing.
Did we might not have checked in with teammates after having done the mission at Grissom Academy.
So, Anderson and Sanders. That's quite a couple. Huh. My dad's last name is Sanders. No relation.
Sure about that? And yeah, that did sort of seem like that was the vibe we were getting, that perhaps they did have a bit of a thing. Maybe they still have a bit of a thing going.
Do you hear that hum? Is that just me?
Huh? What are you talking about, James?
Do you hear that hum? Is that just me?
I don't know, James. I don't know. Is it our canine? Perhaps? Perhaps not? Alright, let's head back up to the CIC, and maybe we'll check in with Edie and Joker just to make sure we didn't miss anything with them. I suppose we could also see if Trainer has anything else to say.
Commander?
Perhaps not. But she is apparently a chess aficionado. Lids, is she a grandmaster, or I don't know, okay? I don't know.
Edie. Once the Krogan are gone, we'll get rid of the smell.
While this body has olfactory sensors, I do not have positive or negative associations with any specific scent.
Oh. Well, lucky you.
That is interesting. She can smell. That's what olfactory sensor is, in case you didn't know. But she doesn't have any reason for a specific scent to be good or bad. Let's check in with these two.
Commander?
Or not.
Shepard, you are staring.
Oh, I'm sorry, Edie.
Hello, Shepard.
Apparently, we should go. Don't worry, that's one of our best skills. We're kind of experienced at it. Okay, so once again, just looking at our credit count here, we do have a fair bit of those credits. Enough that we can definitely purchase one of those big upgrades we're looking for, a new weapon. And we do have several quests to turn in as well, so I think stopping off at the Citadel may not be a terrible idea. And, I mean, unless we happen to have other things we're looking to do in the area, which not necessarily sure is the case. I think we may just head on back right about now. So, let's do it. Okay, so there is, of course, still a mission here on Tuchanka. We will head back. I don't think we're going to do that right now. We'd like to make some upgrades and perhaps go do some other things first. So, in that case, let's head back through the mass relay. And the Krogan DMC is 100% explored, so that's definitely a good sign. Let's head over, back to the Serpent Nebula. Okay, and... oh, of course, we're going to the Citadel. And I don't even remember what Dock 42 is. But, let's go to the Alliance docks, is what we're looking for.
You're cleared to dock, Normandy. Do you need ground transport?
And on this occasion... ooh, good question. Where are we actually looking to go this time? We have, I think, at least one thing to turn in at Purgatory for the grid schematics upgrade that we picked up in the previous mission. Don't remember specifically. I think we had something else at the Presidium Commons, the one where Barla Vaughn told us to go talk to the, or well, not talk to, but actually explore and scan a planet and get the Shadow Broker or Wet Squad or Wet Team or whatever it was called. And although we have acquired that war asset, we may technically still need to seal the deal with Barla Vaughn in some way, shape, or form. So I think that's also going to be of interest to us. The embassies is where we can purchase the weapon that we'd like to purchase. And I'm not sure this time if we have anything to do at the hospital or refugee camp. So why don't we start at Purgatory?
I'm headed to Purgatory.
We'll have a cab ready for you.
Alright, so we are here at Purgatory.
Hey, all you skinny jumpers. Get drunk or get dancing.
I hate everything right now.
Get
Nothing
dancing.
to do about it. We each stand duty in our own ways.
At least your wife and the kids went on that trip you mentioned a while back. Where was it again?
They canceled the trip. Donated the funds to some charity when Earth was hit. And then...
Paladin. Shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm afraid that is kind of the state of the world right now. But I believe Allison here is the person who's looking for the grid upgrade.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but I found these schematics. They're pretty old, but maybe they could help you?
Oh. Those really are old, but solid. We could totally convert our current systems to this. Thanks.
Okay, so there you saw, we got additional war assets, we got reputation, not sure if we got money. Is that number, I'm pretty sure is the same as what it was before, but that's the grid schematics now complete. That is the primary thing we were here for. I mean, we could poke our head in just to see if there happens to be anything else going on in Purgatory, though I'm not necessarily sure that's going to be the case.
Bastards had us. Assholes. Shit, they just kept coming and coming. And not even sure from where. Fucking hell. And poor Bilal. They didn't have to take him out like that. Brutal. Brutal.
Brutal.
Do you guys have a tab? Where are the dancers? I want dancers.
Well, the dance floor's over there.
Not dancers, dumbass. Dancers. I'm here for shore leave, not the Viennese waltz.
I don't,
Oh, come on. If there's an ass shaking somewhere on this station, you guys know where it is.
Remember, this lady was hitting really hard on that guy last time we were here as well, and got rather uncomfortable then, and got rather uncomfortable that time as well. Let's see. Anything else around here that we need to do? These Turians, I believe, did have a quest for us to turn in something for them. I don't recall as to which one it was. Was it this? The Apian Crest Banner of the 1st Regiment? A Turian officer needs the Banner of the 1st Regiment to inspire his troops. Recover it from Castellus in the Apian Crest and deliver it to him at Purgatory in the Citadel. I think the Apian Crest is the area where the Turian homeworld Paladin is, and I think we might have picked that up. So, we might be able to do this.
Commander Shepard, maybe I can help. The Banner of the 1st Regiment is waiting for you at Bay D-24.
Banner of Commander Shepard, I owe you a drink. Thank you. We'll hold that banner proudly as we take our homeworld back from these bastards.
And there you have it. Some additional credits, reputation, mission complete. So, yes, definitely could turn that in. James is still hanging out here.
When we get back to Earth, I'm buying.
Okay, yeah, just as long as you don't turn your head around 180 degrees, and that works for me. Okay, anything else we need to turn in while we're over here? Arya is hanging out over there. Don't really think we need to discuss anything with her at the moment. Other than that, we can use this drink. You know. You know. Just taking a drink. Or two. Or three. Alright, we might be feeling it a little bit now. Might be feeling it a little bit now. Oh hey, what up, Arya? Just a quick judgmental stare. Alright, I think that's just about everything we're looking to do here in Purgatory for the moment. So now let's head on out, and after having finished a couple of quests there. We now have a little more monies. So we've got a little bit to spend here. We can fast travel here if we'd like to, which we may want to do just that. Oh, well, this can take us back to Normandy or Dr. Bryson's lab, which is a totally different area, or an entirely different set of things. This is the set of things we want to be looking at, though. So, let's see. We have the Presidium. I think we might go Presidium Commons, and then we'll finish with the embassies. I don't know if we're going to have any reason to go to the docks holding area right now.
One moment, please.
Okay, let's see. I think I might have mentioned this before, but we had, I think it was these two random civilians were chatting, and we had the option to support one of them or the other. And when you have those conversations, there is oftentimes, although it may not always show up immediately, a consequence when it comes to your war assets. Sometimes it can be positive. Hopefully it's positive. Sometimes it's negative. So I don't have the greatest recollection of which options we took, or which options are the quote-unquote right or wrong ones. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, relatively minor, but it is something to bear in mind as well. Here's Barla Vaughn.
I rescued those soldiers from Reaper territory.
Excellent work. The Shadow Broker has authorized me to offer you a finder's fee for his guard's safety. And now that our business is concluded, I have to tend to some other engagements. Goodbye, Commander. And may I say, good luck.
Goodbye, Barla Vaughn, and with that experience, we level up. So that's pretty sweet. So, I mean, it's not the most relevant of things right now when we're just hanging out in the Citadel, although 6 points is usually a pretty important number, because that means we could fully upgrade an ability if we had something that was on level 4, ready to go to level 6, or on level 5, ready to go to level 6 right now. We don't, but it's on level 4. Grenade, or Cluster Grenade would be our closest one, although Fitness is kind of what we were eyeing next. We could go for the melee damage upgrade and then get a little bit closer to the durability here. I think that is going to be the plan, but what with us not really being able to do that just yet, maybe not at the moment. See what else we have at the shops here in the Citadel, because now that we have a little bit more spending monies, we may be more keen on actually buying some of this stuff. Like Pistol High Caliber Barrel is an upgrade, and for the mod that we have started to use on our Acolytes, so you could certainly justify that. That's at least the thing that seems most intriguing here. The Rieger Carbine is a really good shotgun, but it is so good that it is a little cheesy. There are technically some bugs that make it especially cheesy, so we may try to avoid stooping to that level, or we may stoop to that level, not entirely sure just yet. Recoil for SMGs, we're not using our SMGs very often right now, but at some point in time that may become something we'd like to pick up, just not a super high priority.
I guess it doesn't matter how I do it. I just need to tell him about us.
Wait. Us?
You and me.
He doesn't need to know that. Wouldn't it be better for him to just know that you'd grown apart?
I thought I was supposed to be honest with him.
You are. But you're just being tactful, not rubbing it in.
Yeah, so we overheard these two previously. That just appears to be this wife's mistress, and she doesn't seem to be the best influence. I mean, inherently, it's not the best thing. Okay, so Gnarl over there, I believe, I mean, showing up here, is associated with the quest. If I recall, I think that is from one of Arya's things. Like, where was it? Citadel, Arya to Loke. Arya's requested private meeting. Find her at Dock 42. Thought. Perhaps not. Either way, I think... Oh, hold on. These are the ones I was looking for. Arya, Blood Pack, Blue Suns, Eclipse. So, like, yeah. Speak to Gnarl in the Presidium Commons and gain the allegiance of the Blood Pack. We could do this now, but I think I'm going to try to wait to do those kind of sort of all at once. Yeah, baby. Oh, I thought he said baby, not baby.
How can you think about profits at a time like this?
What's your name, dear?
Sarah?
Sarah, have you ever heard of Elcon's Combine?
Sure. Don't they make, everything?
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'm willing to bet you look worse than I do.
Yeah, well, did you hear about the chemical fire and those kids from level E24 that they brought in last night?
Yeah, I was there when they brought them in.
Shit. I am so sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. Look, if you need anything...
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, things, a little bit of a stressed time. People working at the hospital. Well, let's see. Anyone else we can chat with here? We have Atheta, who I don't believe we've spoken to previously. But can perhaps provide us with a beverage?
Hey, I remember you. Shepard, right? Heard you're fighting the Reapers.
Matriarch Atheta. You were working on Ilium.
Yeah, we met her in Mass Effect 2.
With the Reapers making noise, I figured it was time to get somewhere safer. So I moved here.
I don't think so. I've seen some video footage of you looking at Liara.
Have we? You eyeing Liara?
Yeah. Matriarch Benazia was her mother.
Or are you just not going to complete the latter half of that line? And she doesn't know it, but Matriarch Atheta here was Liara's father. Her father?
You mean you were her other mother, right?
No, I didn't pop her out. Hell, she's never even met me.
Sorry. If you were human, you'd both be called the mother, regardless of which one gave birth.
Well, I'm not human, am I? Anthropocentric bag of dicks.
Sorry. Okay, I mean, I suppose, fair enough, but I mean, you've never spoken to your daughter? You should probably talk.
Liara would love to meet you.
Why? She doesn't even know me from a hole in the ground. Benazia ran off before the kid was born. Besides, this isn't charity work. She's one of the biggest intel brokers in the galaxy. And she's got some shady connections. Like a boyfriend who used to work for Cerberus.
I only
Excuse me? And we are not her boyfriend?
And you're not with him now. I know. If you were, you wouldn't get within a light year of Liara.
Is that a threat?
I'm no commando, but I've had 1,000 years to learn to fight dirty. Nobody messes with my girl. Anyway, you combine her work with Benazia and... well, the Matriarch's...
I don't think we're gonna do this, though.
I hadn't agreed to keep an eye on her.
I bet she'd like to meet you.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Let's see. We got some Paragon points from that. Sounds like we should chat with Liara right now.
The bartender over there?
The matriarch hired by the Asari government to track my movements?
Oh.
She's your father.
I know.
Wait, what? You knew this? Excuse me? Thought we were breaking some huge bombshell on you. I mean, I suppose you are the Shadow Broker, so, like, you probably know more than anyone else. You do know more than anyone else in the galaxy about really any and everything that's going on.
You know.
I'm a very good information broker.
Alright, don't need to toot your own horn.
Talk to her about spying on you?
If I did that, they might send someone who wasn't as sympathetic to me. Besides, this is hardly the time for family reunions.
I mean, that... I would argue. perhaps this is the time for family reunions, because if not now, then when else? Because what with the whole Reapers thing, it's certainly driving people apart at times for good.
Liara.
Oh, fine.
Okay, I believe... I was about to say, there is a bit of a bug here that does show up sometimes where you do not get that update, but hold on.
Matriarchs for keeping an eye on you.
I am not my mother.
You did threaten to flay someone alive with your mind.
I had to make them take me seriously. I wasn't going to actually do it. And you bugged my office on Ilium.
That'd be the logical conclusion. Yeah.
Okay, so, well, this is their first conversation. Look! Their family. It's so sweet. It's so wholesome. But, yes, as I was saying before, that update we got to our war assets, we'll take a look at what that is.
Aren't gonna do anything to you, especially in the middle of this damn war.
My reports don't show much activity from the Asari military against the Reapers.
Come on, you know how Asari work. Infiltration and sabotage.
But against Reaper forces, that's...
I know. About as useful as tits on a Hanar. Good thing we've left the Turians and the Krogan to do the heavy lifting. Our people just aren't built for the front ranks.
So, as I was saying, when we first persuaded Liara to have this conversation, we got an update to our war assets, and you are supposed to get that if/when you convince these two to catch up with one another. However, I believe there, at least before Legendary Edition, I don't know if it still exists in Legendary Edition, there was a bug where at times you would not get the war assets you were supposed to get from having done that, and so it was perhaps going to be worth saving just before we had this conversation with these two, just in case it wasn't going to work, and that way, if it didn't happen the first time, we could give it another shot. I think one of the keys is supposedly, when you're listening to this conversation with the two of them, make sure that you actually stay here and hear the conversation through to the end, rather than walking away and only catching the front half of it. Although we just got it immediately as soon as Liara went over there, so I think we were fine. But we can potentially see if they have more to discuss. We do a little circle back round.
My dad was a Krogan.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
So, that makes you a quarter Krogan.
Ooh.
That's not how it works.
I'm 1,000 years old. I've had kids with Hanar. Don't tell me how Asari reproduction works.
Wait, I have a half-sister who's part Hanar.
I thought that wasn't how it worked.
See? Now we've got Liara right where we want her. She's kind of, sort of, a quarter Krogan, except that's not really how it works, because when Asari reproduce with another species, which they are capable of doing, the offspring is still an Asari. The child basically just, the mother just has their DNA scrambled a bit, and so the child is still an Asari, just an Asari with different DNA. The DNA is not coming directly from the father in this case, so that's why it could be another Asari who's the quote-unquote father, which is the case for Liara, or it could be a Krogan, or it could be a Hanar, or it could be pretty much anything, but at the end of the day, the child is still always going to be an Asari, so that's why Liara's like kinda, sorta a quarter Krogan, but not really, and then the whole like, wait, I have a half-sister who's a Hanar? Yeah, kind of, sort of, sure, we'll roll with that. So she knew about the Krogan aspect, she did not know about the Hanar aspect.
All I'm saying is if you feel the urge to headbutt something, it's genetic.
I have never wanted to headbutt anything.
Really? Not even a little bit? Come on.
I do not headbutt people.
Alright, fine. Don't go all blood rage on me.
Or what? You'll tell the other matriarchs to order a hit.
Hey, that's not gonna happen.
Okay, some very juicy details. Some nice banter between the two of them.
Nezzy and I were together for more than a century.
Nezzy.
You loved her?
Of course I loved her. She was so smart. Always thinking. Nice, too. Hell of a lot nicer than I am. And damn, that rack. I mean, even before she hit the matriarch stage.
You don't need to tell me everything.
I was like, I do not want to hear about that. Anything else?
Nezzy was the only one who ever listened to me when I said the Asari were stuck in the past. Only difference was I wanted us to stand on our own. She wanted alliances with the other species.
Is that why?
Why it ended? Nah. Well, maybe. I don't know. Mostly it ended because she wanted to solve things a smart way. I wanted to fight.
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Not always.
I hear you've racked up quite a body count. But then, you are a quarter Krogan.
Now you're doing it on purpose.
Definitely. I mean, she's, by that metric, half Krogan, which maybe you could make the case is the reason why she just wants to fight things as her solution.
It was pretty clear she was leaving. Can't be the wise counselor when you're married.
Why not?
Sex appeal. No species only pay attention if they want to have sex with you. So, you have to be available, mysterious.
What? That's not true. Shepard listens to me.
I've seen the way you look at each other. Surprised your panties haven't caught fire.
Do you have to make it sound so tawdry?
If it's all civilized, you're not doing it right.
I mean, she's making these comments as if we're in a relationship with Liara. We did have our most recent conversation with Liara got a little bit headed in that direction, but that's not really the intention to go that way, so make me a little nervous here.
I promised to let you go your own way, though, no matter what she wanted.
Really?
I knew you'd be special, kid. Any daughter of hers. I told her, you're treating her like a baby bird, Nezzy. She's gonna raise one hell of a storm with those little wings.
Oh.
Little wing?
You okay?
Yes. Thanks.
Oh, little wing. Any more?
Better to remember her like this than as whatever she turned into with that Saren bastard.
It wasn't her fault. She was trying to stop Saren, guide him as a force of good. But she was indoctrinated.
Look, I heard stories about the Reapers messing with your head.
They're more than stories. I've seen it. Every Cerberus soldier is a Reaper slave. She fought it with every fiber of her being. She even broke free and helped Shepard on Noveria before she died. I was there. She said I'd made her proud.
Oh.
All this time, I blame Nezzy for it. 1,000 years old and I still don't know crap. Thanks for telling me.
Oh, she'd held it against Venezia that whole time? I mean, I suppose in the grand scheme of things, if you lived 1,000 years, and the whole Venezia siding with Saren 5 years ago, or, well, what, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe that's just not that long to be holding a grudge against Venezia, but still, good to clear things up for sure.
Just take care of yourself out there, okay, kid?
I will, Dad.
Hey.
Oh.
I've called a few friends. Commandos. Eclipse girls who owe me some favors. They're all yours. Just tell them where to go.
You're giving me Asari Commandos?
Well, you're too old for me to buy you a damn pony.
You're the best father a girl could wish for.
Oh. Okay, remember when I said there's a bug where you potentially don't get the war assets? This is the one I was referring to. This is the war asset, where you can get Asari Commandos at the end of this conversation, and I noticeably do not see a war assets update in the bottom right corner of the screen, which makes me think that that bug does still exist, and that it is, in fact, what we are experiencing at this very moment. And when I said we probably should save before we had this conversation, we probably should have saved before this conversation. Even after I said that, Because, well, it turns out we hadn't reached that breaking point yet, except now we have. And, now it, well, yeah. Out of curiosity. Oh, that's painful. That's painful. Yeah. So, how do we feel about that? Because I'm afraid if we carry on here, we may just never proceed to get that war asset. Because I believe we've been bugged out of it. I believe we have now just witnessed and experienced that bug firsthand. And I am immediately feeling rather silly, rather regretful for not having at least done a safety save. After having made that point. Because, yeah, I don't think it's possible to do it retroactively. I think the only way you can get it back is...
Can't blame the matriarchs for keeping an eye on you.
I am not my mother.
You did threaten to flay someone alive with your...
We have already heard this part of the conversation, though. This is the first thing from this conversation. You know what?
Actually do it.
We'll save here.
And you bugged my office on Ilium.
I mean, as much as I do kind of hate it, I think we might need to do this again. I don't know if it'll go through the entire stream, but we have
anything to you, especially in the middle of this damn war.
My reports don't show much activity from the
we've heard this as well.
military
Yeah,
against the
so
Reapers.
I'm not sure if you repeat this entire string of conversations, if you can still get that war asset at the end if you didn't get it the first time. But we have now officially confirmed, yes, the bug still exists. I had a question as to whether it still existed in Legendary Edition. We just answered that question. It does. It does. So, if you see that Matriarch Athena is here, and Liara is here, and you have the option of having this conversation, make sure that you save before you do so. Otherwise, you may find yourself in this situation where it's possible that we might maybe be able to get this back. But if not, then we may quite literally just need to reload the entire save that we started when we got back on the Citadel. Let's see, what did we turned in a bunch of things in Purgatory. We turned in the stuff with Barlavon. And then we went over here. I mean, if we just sped run it, then maybe we could make that happen relatively quickly. Because, I mean, I'd love to say, oh, don't worry about it, it's no big deal. It's actually kind of big. That's the thing. If it was just this tiny little thing that was insignificant, I'd say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Except it's kind of actually sort of a little bit significant. So for that reason, I would still very much like to see. At this point, you know, this is basically our test. You know, we'll see if it doesn't work the first time, if you can go through the entire string of, you know, this series of conversations, if you can have them all again, and if that will actually get it the second time round, that's the hope. That's the dream right now. If not, then we can reload the save. Maybe we'll speedrun the stuff on in Purgatory and turn in the stuff with Barlavon. And I don't necessarily think you need to have this conversation right now. I could be wrong about that, but I think we don't have to come straight back to do this again. And, you know, see this conversation 3 times, all these conversations 3 times in a row if we do, in fact, need to reload the save to make it happen. So, we'll play it by ear a little bit, but we are in the middle of testing. In that case, it is a scientific experiment. We have noticed that on the first time round, the bug was still present. We were not able to acquire the war asset in question that we were expecting to receive upon the completion of the final set of this conversation. And now the question is, if we are to repeat this series of conversations and reach the end once again, will it work on the second time around? Because, as I said, the theory with the initial bug was that either you just reload a save and try again and maybe the second time it works, or you just make sure that at the end of the conversation you stay right here throughout the entire conversation, and that way there's a greater chance that you actually do get it. And so we're just going to try doing that again here and see if that works. That's the test.
Can't be the wise counselor when you're married.
Why not?
Sex appeal. Most species only pay attention if they want to have sex with you. So, you have to be available, mysterious.
What? That's not true. Shepard listens to me.
I've seen the way you look at each other.
So she might say that regardless of what your relationship status is with Liara. I'm not sure.
So tawdry.
If it's all civilized, you're not doing it right.
Because on my first Mass Effect 3 playthrough, I was romancing Liara, so I did hear that and probably didn't think much of it, because that is, well, what you would expect.
Go your own way, though. No matter what you wanted.
Really?
I knew you'd be special.
Really?
Any daughter of hers. I told her, you're treating her like a baby bird, Nezzy. She's gonna raise one hell of a storm with those little wings.
Little wing?
You okay?
Yes. Thanks.
Maybe this is the secret. Maybe you need to be up here to complete it. Can we actually go back here? We can go back. We might be stuck back here. We are probably stuck back here. We are almost certainly stuck back here. Oh no. What have we done? What have we done? We've broken the game in more ways than one. So this is probably bad. This is probably extremely bad. Yeah. So, we were planning on completing that series of conversations to see if we could actually still get the war asset at the end of it. I was hoping that maybe, even back here, well, I mean, I was hoping that maybe we could just, like, go over to this side of the countertop while we were still standing on it, and then just step back over here and trigger the next of the conversations, and then if we did get it, then we just step off and be on our way. I didn't expect to head back here, though, and we are stuck. I do not think there's a way back out, unless we can kind of glitch our way through a wall unexpectedly, but, you know, I can't tell you that there is any reliable way to do that. So you know the whole part where I was saying we might need to reload to save? Yeah, we probably need to reload to save. We definitely need to reload to save, and if we're gonna reload to save, then I suppose we might as well do the one at the beginning of the Citadel. It is going to be, a pretty big break. Where was this autosave? Was this autosave at the beginning of our time on the Normandy? I think based on how we have restart missions, yeah, like what if we just restart Mission Citadel? I think we do that. I think we do that. It's one way to make sure we restart this mission.
Do you need ground transport?